It's tough being that we don't really have a lot of the original things when it comes to this particular weapon system, but very interesting in many ways. I wish we could do a longer review on this, and until things improve in certain parts of the world, or until we make our own, we're not going to be able to do that.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Gun Tour. I'm at a very special place. This is Vintorez. This is the wet dream of Garand Thumb and Brandon Herrera, because this is where they make the AS-Val, the Vintorez, and most of the special purpose weapons for the FSB, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Russian Spetsnaz, and I'm going to be testing out most of the weapons that they have to offer. And also, I'm going to be testing out their ammunitions, because for those special purpose weapons, you have to make special ammunition. This is going to be a great day. Let's get to it. Now, not too long ago, I watched Garand Thumb's video on his homemade Vintorez, and that was a tragedy because it wasn't the real Vintorez. But I have the real Vintorez. But that's not it. I've got the latest version of the Vintorez. And of course, we're gonna start from the Vintorez. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it. We've got the real bullets, the armor-piercing versions of the 939 that Garand Thumb used in his videos. That's the Spetsnaz training over there. Of course, they have a lot of problems getting these weapons into the United States because they've got all those sanctions and all those stupid laws. But we don't have to worry about them. We are in Russia. That's why we have access to all these wonderful weapons. And I understand the Americans. They don't want the Russians to bite into their profits if Americans start buying Russian guns. So, without further ado, let's start. Now, as you know, the Vintorez is a special purpose weapon. Vintorez makes these weapons for the military intelligence, for the FSB, etc. Now let's see how it fires. Now, how do you put the Vintorez in full auto mode? You push this little lever to the left, and now it's going to be firing at 900 rounds a minute. Let's go. Whew. Great gun, great feeling I got from this weapon. It has very low recoil. I think it's because of the suppressor at front. It just balances out the kick up from the recoil. Now, the Vintorez is a long-stroke gas piston operated striker-fired assault rifle. Of course, it was made for special purposes. That's why it has an integrated silencer which comes off. This is actually the barrel. It has all these holes that release the gases that enable it to be properly suppressed. And it's very easy to come back into place, and it will hold zero. It also has a releasable buttstock, which can also be customized to the person's face, and also very easily goes back inside. And the fact that it has Picatinny rails all over makes it a very versatile weapon. And now, the AS-Val. It is also basically the same weapon, but with a different buttstock, which is also folding, and of course a different grip. There are just so many modifications of the AS-Val and the submachine guns here that I'm having a very hard time in finding out which is which. I mean, but it's like being a kid in a candy shop. But I'm not gonna shoot the AS valve because it's basically the same thing as the Vintorez. I'm gonna move on to this very nice submachine gun. This submachine gun is the SR2MP. This is basically the AS Valve's submachine gun variant, but instead of firing the 9x39, it fires the 9x21. Now, why not the 9mm Luger? Because the 9x21 is slightly bigger and much more powerful. It is supposed to defeat Class 2, NIJ Level 2 body armor, but we don't have armor-piercing bullets at the moment. We have normal civilian versions of this bullet. This is gonna be very interesting to fire. Whew. Bloody mosquitoes are everywhere. I don't like the fire selector switch. It's just a bit hard to operate. So to switch between full auto and single shot, you have to push the left fire selector switch from single shot to full auto. I made a mistake. I thought this was the fire selector switch. This is actually the safety switch. Now it all makes sense. Let's try once more. Wait, let me just take this out. And then this was crazy fast, like the best feeling. This is not a normal submachine gun. This is just too fast. I think I fired about 28 rounds in like 2 seconds. So the SR2MP Verisk was developed by Vintorez as a close quarters combat weapon, but it's actually not that old. It was adopted by the armed forces around 10 years ago. It has a lot of new stuff like Picatinny rails all over. You can put a lot of furniture on this weapon. Apart from that, it has a folding handle and front handle, and then it also has a folding buttstock. You just press it down like this, pull it back gently. I mean, it's actually easier than it looks once you get used to it. And then now you have a much more stable weapon. All in all, it's a very, very comfortable weapon to use with a very nice rate of fire. It was an amazing feeling to fire this weapon. I finished my magazine in about 2 seconds. And now it's time to move on to the pistol. Now this is my message to Garand Thumb. Garand, I know you like using homemade AKs and homemade Vintorezes for your videos. Come to Moscow, we will give you real weapons to fire. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the Gun Tour. So guys, this is the SR1MP, also made by Vintorez. Now as you can see, it is made to be used with a suppressor. Of course, it can be taken off, and this is what the version without the suppressor looks like. It also fires the 9x21mm special cartridge, which is quite a powerful cartridge, more powerful than the 9mm. It also has a double safety mechanism in which one safety is on the handle and one is on the trigger. When both of them are engaged, only then will it fire. It is a hammer-fired pistol. So what you should know about this suppressor is that this is not really a suppressor, it's a moderator, because these bullets are supersonic. If these were subsonic, this would work better. Now time to shoot this bad boy. Very comfortable gun. Let's check out. Well, it was not as loud as I expected. The moderator did a good job. Well, I did hit quite a few inside the circle. Some went out. Very accurate weapon, very low recoil. I just want to ask you guys, tell me which weapon you like the most so that I can make a proper long video. Because we came to Sintoch Marsh and they gave us a lot of weapons. It was like being a kid in a candy shop. You don't know what to choose. So write us in the comment sections below which one you like best and we'll make a long video about this. Guys, this was the gun tour. See you next time.